What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. Today we're going to be making fun of this story time sent in about this dude's cousin who got arrested in the most absurd way possible. But be sure to press the like button, otherwise no joke, no scam. This is going to happen to you. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
Nice racking her ass Brazilian, just turned 21, but my bank's a million.
Alright, so normally I would never make a video on a story time sent in about this. Like, you know, if it's my family drama, that's one thing. I don't want to embarrass anyone else's cousin. But that being said, the way that this dude got arrested honestly has to be up there as like one of the craziest things I've ever heard described. So I want to clarify all this went down about last night. Halloween obviously is a time where a lot of people just kind of go out, go crazy, you know, get a little bit too, hydrated with certain liquids, and maybe make some bad decisions. And you know, this particular subscriber's cousin is already known for making bad decisions. He's on a first-name basis with most of the police in the area because he tends to get hydrated and make poor choices. And anyways, last night, I guess he was dressed up as the Tin Man. Him and his friends were doing like Wizard of Oz as a group costume. And you know, obviously when you're dressed up as the Tin Man, you're very metallic, you're very reflective, you're looking shiny, you're looking fly. It's not exactly the best costume to wear when you're trying to go under the radar. In fact, I would venture that like a group costume is probably the worst thing you could have while trying to fly under the radar. A group of people caused problems, officer. What did they look like? Well, they were dressed up like the Wizard of Oz, so if you find them, probably a good chance. Anyways, I guess dressed up as the Tin Man, him and his friends decided that they were going to get in a fight at this party they were at. And listen, I'm not going to get into how the fight started and all that. It doesn't really matter. What does matter is that, you know, the fight breaks out, they fought the host of the party, so the host of the party says they gotta go, they're calling the cops, everyone has to leave. And once Tin Man and the Wizard of Oz gang realize that the cops are coming and they've gotta get out of there, they all cram into the Tin Man's car. And obviously, if you've been drinking anything, you know, it's a horrible idea to drive. You shouldn't do it. It's insanely dangerous. This was a very stupid idea. But him, you know, the Cowardly Lion, Dorothy, Toto, the whole gang gets like into this truck and they start driving away from the party. And when I say they did a group costume, it wasn't just the main cast of characters. They had a pretty big friend group to the point where like 2 people were even dressed up as the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, right? And the 2 people that were dressed up as flying monkeys, the cab filled up, had jumped into the back of the truck. And so I guess somewhere in the chaos, you know, they had kind of broken some stuff in the house, been in a fight with the owner, so he had told the cops that like he wanted to press charges or whatever. And so cops are looking for them, right? You know, they kind of have an idea that they're running away from the party, where to look for. And you have to remember, it's going to be very easy for them to be tracked down and found because they are dressed up like the Wizard of Oz and they just have to say, if you see a pickup truck with flying monkeys in the back, that's the one. So whatever, they're driving and eventually a cop car pulls behind them, is watching them for a while, finally turns on his lights, they pull over. Now obviously the Tin Man is not the best driver because he's a little bit hydrated, so the officer walks up, he looks in the car, just sees everyone dressed up like the Wizard of Oz, 2 flying monkeys in the back, and of course he's aware of the fact that this is a group of people that were just in a fight at a house party and like vandalized stuff. So the cop tries to, you know, just take care of this easily. He goes, look, okay guys, I understand it's Halloween. Things probably got a little bit out of control. You know you got in a fight at the house. You know what happened. We can, you know, just take care of this. Let's just take care of this the easy way. But instead of just taking the offer to take care of this the easy way and get it over with, I guess this guy's cousin, in his infinite wisdom, decides to try to deny that it was them. Keep in mind, this isn't a insanely large town, you know, they're kind of in the country a bit. The odds of there being another group of people dressed up, this large of a group exactly like Wizards of Oz, driving in the opposite direction of where the people dressed up like the Wizard of Oz just caused problems, is slim to none. So obviously at that point, you know, this officer is aware of the fact that like they're just lying to him. So he kind of says, okay, well, you know, we can do this the not fun way, but you're not gonna like that. Like, just work with me here, admit that you're the people that we're looking for, and, you know, it'll be much easier. And all of his friends at that point that are also dressed up as the Wizard of Oz, they decide to come clean. They go, okay, yeah, it's us, and they get out of the car. So at this point, the rest of the group has given up on the whole pretending to not be those people thing. But for some reason, this guy's cousin decides to double down. He looks around at his group of friends that are with them and goes, wait a second, you guys aren't the people I was dressed up with. They must be back at the party. This guy was really trying to convince this cop that there had been two groups of people with the exact same costume at the party, and in the rush of trying to run away and escape when the cops were called, he had accidentally let the entire wrong group into his car. At no point did he realize that he didn't recognize anyone in any of the costumes. You know, just obviously these things happen. It's Halloween. What a blooper. You accidentally pick up the wrong group on Halloween. And obviously at that point, his friends are pissed off because now he's trying to let them take the rap and get out of it. So they start being like, dude, shut up. Like, you're with us. Come on, don't do this. And at this point, the cop's getting annoyed because it's like, all right, dude, like, you obviously know them. You're all in the car together driving away. Like, stop playing dumb. This is just getting annoying. But instead of coming clean at that point, once his friends are mad at him and everyone's saying like, just stop, your lie's not working, he triples down, bro. He triples down. And so he's like, no, I really don't know them. I don't even know how I got into this costume. I wasn't dressed up like the Tin Man. So now he's trying to just convince this dude that he hadn't painted his face silver. And at this point, it's fed up. He's like, get out of the car. And so he gets out of the car, obviously, you know, have you been drinking? Yes, blah, 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 blah. The cop is like, well, all right, we have to do the test. So they do the test. Obviously, his cousin is intoxicated, so he's done. He was driving. He's getting arrested, right? Drinking and driving, very stupid crime. Don't do it. Like, out of all the crimes you could do, very easy to avoid getting arrested for that one. You know, just don't do it. Obviously, mistakes got made this night. No one's very happy with this, especially pretending not to be the Tin Man guy over here. So anyways, all that goes down. They get rounded up. He gets put in the back of the car, obviously, as they have to do. And they start, like, you know, waiting for the other people to come get picked up. They had called a ride to come get them. They hadn't really done anything wrong. Not all of them were involved in the fight, in the breaking stuff. Only a few of them were. Those people were also rounded up and got in trouble. But, like, a couple people were just kind of waiting on the side of the road for a car to come get them. And so the car comes to get these other people, and when the car pulls up, the Tin Man starts screaming that, oh, no, that's his group. That's his group. That's the people he was with. And obviously, everyone's like, what are you talking about? That's just an Uber that they called to come get them. You guys have no affiliation with that group. But somewhere in his mind, this dude is in the back of the car, handcuffs on, you know, knows he's in trouble. He still decides to try again to convince the cop that, like, this isn't his group and he doesn't know them and he's supposed to go with that Uber driver instead. Alright guys, I'm going to interrupt the video for just a second. If you take a look at your screen, you'll see a gift card code. For those of you that don't know, I give one of these away in every video I post to say thank you to y'all for subscribing and turning on notifications. So if you haven't already, do that. Press the like button and comment. It helps out the video a lot, and I'll shut up and get back to the video now. Thanks. Anyways, obviously doesn't work. All of his friends, you know, leave. They get out of there, you know. Everybody that's in trouble gets transported. He calls his parents. His parents come get him. Obviously not too thrilled with the entire situation. The only reason the subscriber knows about this, by the way, is that, you know, his mom called his mom and they were talking about it in the car. But I don't know if parents realize this. When you're in the car, obviously it's on speaker. So she just starts ranting about how stupid her son is, listing off all these details that they were told about, you know, because it's a small town. Obviously, people were talking about how dumb it was. And this dude's just sitting there listening to it, right? So obviously he gets out. But he starts, you know, beefing with all of his friends on Facebook. And listen, if you're still using Facebook, that's problem number one, dude. Mark Zuckerberg at this point is a confirmed lizard person. Like, there's just no reason to be using a social media website that is that evil. But whatever, he starts beefing with his friends on Facebook because they had gone on and called him out for trying to be a horrible friend and, like, stick all of the blame on them, saying he doesn't know them, he doesn't know how they got in their car. And he, instead of, you know, being like, hey guys, you know, I'm sorry, starts to be like, no, last night I had amnesia. And when I had the amnesia, I didn't know who you guys were. So when we got in trouble, my amnesia was flaring up, and that's why I didn't know who you were. And obviously the friends don't buy this, so they're just arguing in the Facebook comment section about this. And, his mom was like trying to keep this relatively low key. She had called her sister to talk about it. But this idiot is arguing about it on Facebook, so sure enough, now the entire family knows. She had to like call grandma and grandpa and explain to them what had gone on, because they had gone on Facebook and seen this dude arguing about what happened and like having amnesia and forgetting everything. Meanwhile, his parents are like, get off Facebook and stop talking about it. Just shut up. Like, all you're doing is making the situation worse, which, that's all he was doing, is making the situation worse. But he starts arguing with his parents then, about how like he can't get off social media because it's his only connection to the outside world now that he's a hardened criminal. And if his street cred is destroyed on Facebook, then he doesn't know like what he's gonna do, blah, 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 blah. Like, this dude is really convinced that his street cred on Facebook is worth something. All in all, this just sounds like the type of person where you meet them and you're like, the fact that you haven't managed to somehow accidentally like cut off your arm with a chainsaw, or, like accidentally walked out in traffic with your IQ is astounding. Like, you ever just meet somebody and you're flabbergasted that they've made it this far into adulthood? I feel like this is the vibe I would get if I ever met this dude in person. No offense, but just an impressive amount of horrible decisions made in one streak here, one day. Anyways, obviously, I hope this guy gets everything figured out. I hope everything works out for him, but that might be just the stupidest way to get in trouble that I've ever heard of in my life. I would recommend staying off the Facebook, bro. But yeah, anyways, I think that's gonna do it for the video. I know this video was a shorter one. I just thought y'all would enjoy it regardless. I was just so flabbergasted at the stupidity that I knew I had to share it with y'all. If you really enjoyed and you want to help me out more, you can check out the intro song. A link to it is down below, along with a link to my podcast, The Scuffed Cast, or you could use code SCRUBBY at the G Fuel checkout to get a discount on G Fuel. While you're down there checking stuff out, pressing the like button and commenting does help me out quite a bit. And last but certainly not least, guys, I went ahead and put a bunch more story times on Spotify. I know y'all have been asking for me to do more of those, so I did it. So if you go to the link in the top of the description, you can check that out, listen to them on there, all that good stuff. I plan on posting there more often. But yeah, on that note, guys, that'll do it. Once again, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really helps the video do better, and when the videos do better, I make more of them. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys tomorrow with another video. Happy November. We're getting close to Christmas now. The countdown has begun. And yes, for those of you that have been asking, 12 days of scrubs is planned. Don't sweat it. See y'all soon. Bye.